Good evening, motherfuckers. It's your boy, and we out here doing some motherfucking TA on some stocks so we can make some motherfucking money. Now, if you're with me, I want to hear you scream. Just kidding, I probably won't be able to hear that. Don't scream, because your mom will probably kick you out your fucking house. Listen, motherfuckers, this is what the game plan is for SMCI, alright? We're making a lot of fucking... We're in a downtrend right now. I feel like, personally, we about to pop like a motherfucking pill straight to the top. And we're going to go break through all-time highs. Just like we did, what was it, 2 weeks ago. I think that we're going to do that. Tell you the truth. Or actually, it was this past week. Yeah, it was this past week. That's what I think is going to happen. To the upside, all I would really want is a test of these specific levels. Mainly, this 347.96. This 348 level is going to be one of the bigger levels for us. As you could see here, there was some denial here, and we were unable to hold at that specific denial point, right? Now, with that being said, from that specific denial point, we've come up to that same point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, multitude of times, more than fucking 5, more than I can count on my hands and fucking toes. We've come up to this specific level and we've rejected. So if we get above 348, we should see that all-time high level again, right? That's just kind of like what I'm thinking personally, and I definitely think that it's 100% a possibility, given the fact that the market did kind of cool off the past couple days. You know, we didn't have really that much movement on Friday. It was one of the harder days to trade out of like the past couple months, in my opinion. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Nonetheless, that is exactly what I'm expecting, is a move over that 348 to get to this 352.12, this 352.12 up to this 355 area. Then this 355 area, break over this 358.06 level, and then continue to all-time highs. That's kind of just what I'm expecting to the upside. Now to the downside, where would I like to short? I'd like to short under this 336.73. As you can see, we've held this specific level a multitude of times. We rejected it, we retested it, we held it, we broke through it, we came back above it, we did everything in between except break down from it in a way that ended up giving us heavy downside, right? So that's exactly what I'd be looking for, is a break of that level in order for us to have and get down to this 334.50 level. This 334.50 level, I'd love to see, honestly, kind of just fill to the downside, really. I'd really like to see that 330 level again. In my opinion, that would give us the cleanest move, not only to the downside, but for a higher move to the upside. So I would expect a retest of the downtrend in order for us to have that downside. If we don't get that and we do end up breaking through, I just want a retest of this downtrend for us to continue higher. Basically all I'm looking for. All these levels marked here is exactly what I'd want to trade. And below, again, this 334.50 level is, I think, where I will go short. So long as we get an hourly close beneath this level, I do think that we have room to this 329, and that would be an extremely clean short from that point. We're back at it again with SQQQ. So what ended up happening a couple months ago when we were talking about this play back in November, back in the beginning of November, my birthday. That does not even fucking matter whether it was my birthday, your birthday, it does not matter. I'm just saying, back when we were talking about this motherfucker, back then, I was looking for a bounce here on this 4-hour trend, right? This trend was at least drawn on the 4-hour, rather. We're on the 1 hour right now. Nonetheless, this is what I wanted to see with it. I wanted to see it bounce in order for the market to have continued downside. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We actually ended up retesting it perfectly and then going all the way down to what was this, 13. You know, there was absolutely no support down below this 1637, so a close above it definitely would have helped for the push higher. However, we ended up not getting exactly what we wanted, and we just continued to die while the market continued to rip. However, again, kind of the same fucking idea as SMCI, right? We have a big ass downtrend, and this downtrend continuously has been retested a multitude of times, 3 times at this specific point, right? With that being said, we may see another pop to the upside on this for a retest of this downtrend, meaning that we see the overall market do what? Go down, ladies and gentlemen, to the downside. This is up, and then we want to see this going down if the market continues to go up. If the market does not continue to go to the upside, then we're going to see this go up to the upside. That's just kind of how it works, right? So, not really any specific levels that I'm looking for on this. I'm not really looking to trade it. I'm just looking at it as an indicator for what the market has in store for us. Whether we bounce, whether we continue to die, whether we trade sideways, this is going to be that one specific indicator for me to know what I'm going to do, how to execute my game plan, and everything in between. So, just some relative knowledge, general knowledge. We're in a downtrend. You know, we started actually creating higher lows. We might get a pop to the upside, which would then bring the entire overall market to the downside. So that's kind of just what I'm looking for on SQQQ. Nothing crazy, but just, you know, again, just using it as an indicator for the overall trend of the overall market. The next on our list has been a market sweetheart with Bitcoin absolutely fucking gapping to the upside, going touching towards 50K. You know, Bitcoin ETFs dropping, then Bitcoin rejecting a lot, really heavy, and then obviously seeing Coinbase reject heavily. I mean, it was kind of expected to sell the news event. In the morning on Friday, we ended up getting a massive pop on all these Bitcoin names, Mara, Riot, Coinbase, all of everything in between. However, there was a chart that I posted throughout to the Discord, you know, where I saw that we were rejecting this specific level a multitude of times. Now, did I take a short on it? Of course I didn't. Because why? Because I'm a fucking idiot. That's why. But this 161 level was being a pain in the ass and was not breaking. With that being said, we ended up seeing some incredible downside. It was literally a 30-point move. Currently, Coinbase is trading at 127.41. It's down almost 3% overnight, which is honestly kind of incredible, given the fact that on Friday, we ended up closing. Honestly, I couldn't tell you where we closed. We closed at 130.78. So, you know, from here, do we have more downside? I mean, we're down here currently. So I would love to see a break of maybe this 125, even just a retest of this 125, in order for us to have some type of, you know, consolidation or bounce or something like that. A lot of it just kind of depends on Bitcoin too, right? And on the overall market. Bitcoin and the stock market tend to move hand in hand a lot of the time. So truthfully, I'm kind of looking for a bigger bounce than anything. I'm not really looking for a lot more downside. However, if Bitcoin does decide to continue to sell off, have some pops, the pops get sold, then I would honestly, as crazy as this sounds, I would love a 100 retest for Coinbase. I think that would be the most ideal. If not there, then I definitely want this 115. So if we're able to get to this 115, maybe this 118 level, yeah, maybe this 118.50 level, that this is where I would be looking to relong, especially because Bitcoin has a ton of strength. Again, the ETFs just dropped. A ton of money is being poured into those ETFs. So I don't think that Bitcoin will go back to, you know, 15,000 strictly because of that or anything. But I definitely would love to see it sell off a little bit more before we end up getting that big initial bounce on the overall market and on all of these Bitcoin mining and crypto companies themselves, right? So, what levels am I looking for? It's a great fucking question. I'm glad you fucking asked. basically right here, here we go. This is what I'd be looking for, right? I mean, I really would have loved to have a bounce here overnight, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Like I said, we're at this like 127 area. So let's go take a look at some previous data. Let's throw on some regular candlesticks. Look at some previous data. Okay, cool. So as you could see here, there was a lot of support building, right? Prior to us pushing to the upside. So there, also this level right here, this 118.29, and I mean, I could say 117, 116, all of that. But this 114.79 level is most important, along with this 118.29, this 123.89, and potentially this 121 level also. So that's kind of what I will be looking for. You know, this 127 area is where we're at now. So if we could see 125, I would love to see 125 before, you know, this bounce intraday. If not there, then we should see this 123 area, which would also be beautiful because we can just play this to the downside, right? A break of that would definitely give us a little bit lower than that into that 121 area. That 121 area to that 120 would take us to this 118.30, in which, you know, I'd be looking for a healthy bounce amongst these specific levels. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on Coinbase, for a bounce to the upside. And then just, you know, normal targets 129.34, so 130, 134.41, 137.89, call it 138. 139.85, call it 140, and this 144 level also. That's kind of also what my main targets would be if I were to take a bounce and want to see some levels retested on the upside.